This is the foreword to Covenant of Aries, copyright 2012. I'll always have a soft spot for this, my second novel and third book. It's got quite a bit of history behind it, even if it's about the future. Well, a few weeks after the week after next. Let's put it that way. Once upon a time, there was a writer, yes, a younger version of myself, who had been brewing up stories in his barrel for much of his quarter of a century of life. Just on the brink of seeing his first book released, and having been making some notes for his next, he attended a writers' and artists' weekend in the wonderfully cosy Donegal countryside, in the village of Dunfanaghy. The Arnold's Hotel there still runs those weekends, I think, and I was lucky to have landed in such a place to get my sophomore novel off to the start it had. The course went very well, and then, being 25 and avid for some hard writing, I did what I suppose other young writers might try. Rent a cottage there and stay on for a week or two more to make a proper start on what felt like a great idea. It was November, out of season and then some, and it was next to freezing, but I managed to keep warm. I had no car at the time. Firewood had to be moved over bicycle handlebars. The locals thought I was crazy, but they kind of took me under their wing, we got on very well indeed, and they were pillars of support. This was the milieu into which the genesis of what would become the Aries Covenant became a reality. I went back the next year and took another 2 weeks there, some writing, mostly doing notes and research. By 2001, I had got a first draft together. By then, I was doing my master's degree, becoming increasingly involved in short story writing in the sparse patches of spare time I could snatch. The short stories would eventually take over, the best of them turning up in seances with the living. Some friends proofread Aries for me at the time. They liked it, yet I didn't feel it was quite ready somehow. Time marched on. Short stories, work, writing for magazines and e-zines, and putting what I had learnt in journalism school and in my MA in biography to good use took over my writing regimen. And then I went back to Aries, and finally it clicked. It's a novel with a big scope. It deals with an end-of-the-world scenario that's happening on a much faster scale than the financial torture that's dragging on as I write this. I had been a bit unlucky when I'd gone back to look at it around 2006. I ended up being taken with another idea and got cracking with a first draft of that. That one's another story though, but it will be coming out soon. I've used the first-person pronoun quite a bit already. There are others whom I'd like to thank or re-thank here. Dr. Wayne Teffs, who helped me stay on track and feel hungry enough to graduate from high school while believing in my dream, is the principal one. The Greenhouse family certainly deserve a great deal of credit for their tireless work in helping this work in an earlier version. There are others too who have toiled since in that department. You know who you are. The story you are about to have unfolded before you is about learning lessons. The most obvious one might be not to mess around with the occult, and not to attack parts of a country that contain archaeological treasures. Yet it runs deeper than that. The people in this book are about to learn lessons about themselves, and it will be the lesson of their lives. In that respect, it's a book about revelations. I hope you enjoy whichever ones might befall you as you read Covenant of Aries.